Later today, the big homie Trump is gonna be doing a CNN town hall. Could turn into a disaster for all. It might be terrible, it might be wonderful, but it's gonna be fantastic regardless. And I can sit down there and I could call them fake news. I'm on their channel, and they need me for ratings because look at the ratings, folks. They're terrible. Not as bad of a drop as fake news, faux news, as I like to call them. The only time that they get ratings, people, is when I'm on their platform. And CNN, I don't like them. But they have to call in the dawn. They tell me in order to get anybody to pay attention to their failing network. I know Crowder's going to be doing a watch along, and I kind of thought about doing one, but we'll see. Probably not. Probably just report on it in the aftermath. But consider this the build-up. So what do we got? Former President Donald Trump promoted his Wednesday night CNN town hall in New Hampshire, but issued a word of caution about what might happen. I'll be doing a CNN tomorrow night, live from the great state of New Hampshire, because they are rightfully desperate to get those fantastic Trump ratings once again. That they need it, folks. They tell me all the time just how great things were during the Trump presidency. Like so many of you great people know, it was the best of times. It was the worst of times. If you're with CNN, it's always the worst of times, they tell me. They've made me a deal I couldn't refuse. They paid me so much money. I don't need that much money, folks. I got all the money, but they really backed up the truck. They backed it up for me. Could be the beginning of a new and vibrant CNN. No more fake news. Or it could turn into a disaster for all, including me. But you'll want to be there, folks. Trump Wrote on Truth Social. Let's see what happens Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Cool. I'm going to be paying attention to it, or probably watching the Crowder coverage, because that'll at least be funny, and, well, Trump's funny in and of himself, but we kind of know the talking points that they're going to be after. After inciting an insurrection on January 6th, so now you're launching your re-election campaign. What do you have to say about Ron DeSantis? Oh, great, wonderful, fantastic. It's just going to be a bunch of clip bites and sound bites and all that stuff. But they've also thrown in a little bit of a wrinkle, which is more than likely going to be addressed. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny because, okay, this is going to be a town hall on CNN, but if you guys can cast your minds back to 2016, there was a town hall debate with Hillary Clinton, and what came out just before that? Well, that was the grab by the pussy, folks. You could sometimes, when you're a big enough star, the girls will just let you handle their kitty outside the cage. I don't advocate, I don't run around, but they'll let me sometimes, folks. That was the audio sound clip that went out there. And as a chinless man once said, history doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes. We had sexual abuse, a trial regarding Trump in New York, which I was tangentially aware of. I wasn't really paying that close of attention to, mostly because it just seemed like an opportunity to run the guy's pockets. And hey, take a look at that. She got to run his pockets one more time. Trump found libel in sexual abuse and defamation of John Carroll case, which was all predicated on back in the 70s, Trump did the big grape on me. Funny, that wasn't one of those things that ended up convincing the jury, but we got some stuff that the jury did see, but may have influenced them finding the lesser charges that are on there. But let's go. Former President Donald Trump on Tuesday was found liable of sexual abuse and defamation and ordered to pay more than $5 million in damages. Of course, this couldn't be held in criminal court because this was from, I think, 1979. Like, it's hilarious. They couldn't find this dusty old broad for 2016, for 2020. No, they just had to save her up until this point in time where she just needs to get this off of her mind at a ripe old age of, she's still younger than Biden, by the way, 79. Now it has to come forward in federal court, in a federal jury, in a writer, John Carroll's lawsuit accusing him of graping her in a Bergdorf Goodman fitting room decades ago. Yo, she's a writer with a sus story, accused him of grape. And the only thing that she ended up convincing the jury of was libel. So him saying it didn't happen. Him saying that it didn't happen is libel. But then sexual abuse. But not grape. Interesting. Carroll, 79, held her head down as the verdict was read in a Manhattan federal jury. She's like, oh, God, I got some credit cards that need to be paid off. Please, sevens. yes, and nodded when she heard the jury finding in favor of defamation claim of Trump 76, branding her a liar when she came forward with her allegations. Hilarious. They found Trump guilty of calling her a liar of something they couldn't even find that he committed. Interesting. No wonder he's pressing forward with an appeal. But we'll get to that later. 9-person jury, 3 women, 6 men, decided the case after 3 hours of deliberations. Did they get paid by the verdict? Like, yo, man, after 3 hours that began just before noon Tuesday. It's like, okay, do you actually think that he epar'd her? No. What are the other charges that are on there? Okay, how much money did she get? Okay, great, wonderful. The lunch menu was atrocious and we ain't sticking around for dinner. Okay, let's just write this down and get done with. Neither Carroll nor her attorney, Roberta Claire Kaplan, spoke to the mass of reporters outside the lower Manhattan courthouse as they left hand in hand with a former Ask E. Jean columnist breezing through the crowd and into a waiting car. I have absolutely no idea who this woman is. I don't know who she is, people. The verdict is a disgrace, a continuation of the greatest witch hunt of all time, Trump wrote on his social media platform, Truth Social, following the verdict. Speaking outside court, his attorney, Joe Tacopina, vowed to appeal the verdict. He's firm in his belief, as many people are, that he can't get a fair trial in New York City. Yeah, very much so. After something as complex as this, something with such intensely weird evidence as this apparently happened in 1979. They couldn't find Trump guilty of the big charge, but they could find that he was guilty about lying about something that you guys couldn't prove. Interesting. Very interesting. I think one could argue that it's an accurate assessment based on what happened today. Oh yeah, and also 3 hours to decide this. Okay. As a reporter asked if it would derail Trump's run in the Republican nomination of the 2024 presidential election, Tacopina quickly interjected, nope, of course not, because he's got that he's got that town hall going on later today, which is going to be hilarious. It's going to be addressed, and it's going to be a big portion of what CNN's going to do. If they're going to be the CNN that we all know and love, they're going to make, I don't know how long it's supposed to be, don't know how, a couple hours, hour and a half, however long they go on that. I would imagine just about half of the time is going to be dedicated to that right there. How can we have a sexual abuser in the White House paging Bill Clinton? In a statement through her attorney later Thursday, only Wednesday, Carroll said she filed the suit against Trump to clear my name and get my life back. Yet Trump has no idea. To you, this was the most significant event in your life. For Trump, he doesn't even know who you are. Today, the world finally knows the truth. Yeah, that you didn't get epar'd by the president. Like, okay, cool. This victory is not just for me, but for every woman who suffered because she was not believed. All jurors rejected her claim that in her 2019 suit that Trump had graped her. They found him liable for sexual abuse. How do you do that? Carroll had accused Trump of attacking her in a fitting room in a Fifth Avenue department store, most likely in 96. Okay, where did I find the 79 stuff from? Anyways, so 1996. And then it took her to bravely come forward 23 years later in order to file suit. What is going on? He has denied her allegations. Yeah, I need to clear my name by having him cut me a 7-digit check. How's that clear anybody's name? Watchers in the court gallery cried tears of joy when the verdict finding Trump liable for sexual abuse was read. Yeah, of course, because it's preponderance of the evidence in civil court, even though it's at a federal level, but come on, man. If Trump actually did this, he'd go to criminal court. There would be criminal charges, but there isn't. Jurors also found in favor of Carroll on her claim that the ex-president defamed her in a lengthy October 12, 2022 Truth Social post claiming her accusations were a hoax. Yeah, because you could theoretically prove that by either finding him guilty of either the charges that were, the accusations that were brought in front of the court. The decision comes after 8 days of trial, spread over 3 weeks. 8 days of trial, 3 weeks in totality. 3 hours to deliberate. while the jury heard from 11 witnesses, including Carroll, 2 other Trump accusers, and 2 pals whom Carroll confided in about the alleged attack. Oh, great, so you got hearsay evidence. Fantastic. Trump did not attend the trial, but the jury saw clips of his video deposition, and also didn't call any witness or present any evidence. So yeah, it was a one-sided situation. Of course it was going to be a hoax. And if this was the only interpretation of Trump that we've seen, and this is a big reason why I wanted to do this video right here, mostly because this deposition is so goddamn funny. Let's have a laugh. Let's have a laugh, folks.
When you said in that video that Ms. Leeds would not be your first choice, you were referring to her physical looks, correct?
Just the overall. Not. I look at her. I see her. I hear what she says. Whatever.
She's not great, folks. She's not a very good. She's not a looker. Not a looker.
You wouldn't be a choice of mine either, to be honest with you. I hope you're not.
Yo, he's over there just bagging on the fucking lawyer as well. What a savage.
Of mine either, to be honest with you. I hope you're not insulted. I would not, under any circumstances, have any interest in you. I'm honest when I say it.
I do believe him. I definitely do believe him, of course, just because it's so fucking funny. This is an official deposition. He is sworn in, okay, under penalty of perjury to tell the truth. And he's saying, under no circumstances would I fuck you. Yo, it doesn't even matter if you hate the dude, but that's just, I couldn't imagine being nagged under the threat of perjury. Trump 2024. That's all I can say.
I would not have any interest in.
When you said in that video...
Of course not. Oh my God, he's the fucking best. And then, of course, one other clip. Just one other clip.
And you do say in the video... that as part of trying to have sex with this woman, you took her furniture shopping, correct?
He's talking about the Access Hollywood grab her by the pussy tape.
We actually did look for furniture, yes.
Okay.
So... that was true. You actually took this woman dancing.
I think so. It's
shopping.
been a long time ago. How long was that? A long time ago.
I don't think so.
I think so. I do think so.
Is that the only occasion when you took a woman shopping?
I think so.
Yeah, mostly because those
And you
bitches, well, they could just go ahead and walk out there to themselves. I give them the money and they can go away.
And again, this has become very famous in this video. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. Just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Grab them by the pussy. You can do anything. That's what you said, correct?
Well, historically, that's true with stars.
Oh, that's why he's the man. That's the man right there.
It's true with stars that they can grab women by the pussy?
Well, that's what it's. If you look over the last million years, I guess that's been long.
It's something else that I say all the time to all the girls that are out there. You know, historically, kings, they had all the women they wanted. What high-value man, they could get any woman that they wanted once you're that dude. And some people say, a lot of people tell me, folks, alpha fucks, beta bucks, people. A lot of people tell me that.
Largely true, not always, but largely true. Unfortunately or fortunately.
Unfortunately or fortunately. Well, it all depends if you're wearing a glove or not, or if you want your fingers to stink. I understand.
And you consider yourself to be a star?
I think you can say that, yeah.
Yeah, I think you could say that. I think you could say that, folks. God damn it. And if that's all the jury got to see of Trump during this trial, thinking that, oh boy, we can be in the same room as that former evil president, and then they get that presentation that, oh, he said that, oh, once again, oh, he could just go running around grabbing women by the crotch. Fantastic. It gets to give all of those weirdos their little sick power fantasy, or they can finally hold him accountable by saying that he defamed a woman, by saying that he didn't grape her, but then not finding him guilty of graping. It makes a lot of sense. Maybe it makes more sense even if you're in New York City. I think that's what we're going to go with. But with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.